Facing my anxieties during the coronavirus crisis. During the long haul of pandemic made us all very exhausted and wondering when is this going to end. I am describing my anxiety and fears as the days goes. This video is brought to you by HealthyRN Ways, a channel that gives you the coronavirus and the other chronic related illness such as IBD, psoriasis and asthma. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Common concerns and managing your health can seem more overwhelming than ever these days. Stress associated with things like work, finances, and staying healthy during the pandemic can be a trigger for psoriasis and eczema symptoms. We address the challenges of managing a chronic condition in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, including the stress and anxiety that most of us are feeling. Stress is a major trigger for my psoriasis and eczema. Over the past month of sheltering at home, we experienced cycles of anxiety and worry. Sometimes we couldn't stop fretful thoughts. At night, having trouble falling or staying asleep. During the day, couldn't focus on what we needed to do and often felt tired and lethargic. I didn't always know why I was feeling anxious. I could take walks or meditate to try to manage the worry, but I soon realized that those coping techniques did not address the sources of my emotion. I became more anxious about feeling anxious, which turned into a negative loop of unproductive thoughts. I finally decided to make a list of my concerns. In a matter of minutes, a long list of questions and concerns filled the blank page. I then categorized each item on the list into areas of my life where I had been feeling uneasy or distressed. What follows are some areas where anxiety had taken over, and some things that have helped me manage my worries. 1. Concerns about staying healthy. Maintaining good health, partly we can avoid going to the clinic or hospital, has become a major concern. Even if we felt good about our health one day, we didn't know if the next day I would feel the same. My concerns also focused on whether my chronic health conditions, asthma, psoriasis, and eczema, might worsen if I were to come down with COVID-19. I felt my shoulders tighten as I imagined myself in a hospital bed for days receiving breathing treatments while skin inflammation spread unchecked. I could understand my worry about becoming infected with COVID-19 and how severe the symptoms could be. The news is full of reports of people becoming quite sick within days after the onset of symptoms. I soon became fearful that I would get infected from my mail or groceries until I read an article on how to safely handle them and helped me discover techniques to better manage my own fears as well as those of my loved ones. 2. Dealing with my day-to-day realities. The coronavirus pandemic has forced me to change how I approach each day. I felt apprehensive about going out for groceries or getting food from a local restaurant. For the first time, I had my groceries delivered. I've begun cooking much more than I ever had before. With more time at home, I've started noticing imperfections with the house that I overlooked before. The crumbling concrete on the corner of the house especially bothers me. In the past, I might have called a contractor or handyman to look at it. With the lockdown, I don't know if anyone could come out to fix it. Other daily worries pop up. I message my parents and kids every day to make sure they have enough food and feel okay. I've questioned my productivity level, often not feeling I'd done enough work at the end of the day. It has taken some time, but I've realized that I'm not going to be any good to others if I don't take care of myself. The article on self-care tips can help you find ways to make the most of your stay-at-home time and even feel better in the process. 3. Facing short and long-term financial stability. I've faced financial challenges as the pandemic has impacted the economy. I am on an unpaid leave from work, so I haven't expected a paycheck during these few months. I've begun to wonder if a job will be waiting for me at the end of the leave. That thought has led to fears about how to obtain health insurance if I don't have a job in a couple of months. As the stock market's volatility has increased, I've paid more attention to retirement and college accounts. The plummeting numbers have alarmed me. When travel restrictions cancelled a second honeymoon to Hawaii that my wife and I were planning, I frantically tried to contact the travel agency to make sure I could get a refund. I didn't realize how much financial concerns weighed on me until I could identify these specific ways the crisis has affected my budget. Financial stress isn't unique to the pandemic. Reading about how money matters top most people's list of worries will make you feel less alone. I've realized that I've had to tackle one thing at a time and set priorities, otherwise I'd be too overwhelmed to get anything done. 4. Sharing feelings and concerns with others. Naming my anxieties has helped me feel better. It's not that these concerns magically disappeared, but I feel I am coping better. I'm also seeing how I don't need to face my anxieties alone. I've found mutual support and understanding with friends and family. My family scheduled a video call to celebrate the holiday. During that call, I asked each family member to share a fear or worry. One of the children questioned what life will be like when we begin to at least try to move past the impacts of the pandemic. We all nodded, wondering the same. In that moment of sharing our anxieties, we felt supported and understood. I knew that whatever might come, I'd have my family and friends to get through it together. That much I can count on even when everything else seems uncertain. 5. Where are our COVID-19 vaccines? With millions are dying of COVID-19 every day around the world, and concerns growing about more contagious variants of the coronavirus, there's a drastic need for a coordinated, comprehensive plan to get vaccines in arms. The number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 is absolutely continuing to go in the wrong direction. They are looking at crisis standards of care, and we do need an all-in effort. We described the current COVID-19 situation a full-on crisis globally. We now have to vaccinate estimate about 10 to 20 million every day from now over the next 8 months in order to get millions vaccinated, or 3/4 of the population. 6. COVID-19 vaccination effort needs to dramatically improve. Major changes in how vaccines are distributed and administered are essential. Dramatically increase the number of vaccination sites. Pharmacy chains and hospitals have stepped up, but it won't be enough. Vaccination efforts have made some progress by using large and adequately staffed venues, and it was quite successful. Get rid of complicated rules. Overly complex protocols have compromised vaccination efforts as well as other aspects of response to COVID-19, including diagnostic testing. We've got to be able to give a vaccine to anyone who wants it. We cannot handle fussy regulations nobody understands. Some vaccine doses being discarded because people didn't meet all the criteria are totally unacceptable. It is absolutely tragic to be throwing any vaccine away, and I also agree it's a bit complicated right now. Every country has its own process, and for the public these processes are frustrating and complicated, and need to be simplified. We need an all-hands-on-deck moment here. We've always needed a coordinated, comprehensive plan. We need it more than ever now. 8. Develop more vaccines and more types of vaccines. The mRNA, messenger RNA, technology is not robust enough to do the whole job. We've known that from the beginning. We need other types of vaccines, such as the adenovirus-based kind. Oxford AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson both have adenovirus vaccines in Phase 3 clinical testing. The advantage of this type of vaccine is that it is more stable than an mRNA vaccine and doesn't have to be stored at really low temperatures, which has slowed production and led to the waste of some doses of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. The Pfizer vaccine needs to be stored at ultra-low freezing temperatures, well below what's found in a standard freezer. The Moderna vaccine also needs to be frozen for long-term stability, but unlike the Pfizer vaccine, it can be kept in a standard refrigerator for a few weeks. What are thoughts on our current pandemic situation? Let me know all your comments and suggestions. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you on my next video. Ma salama.